Sorry, my bad. Sound check, sound check. Hey, Pips Apprentice, I think you can hear me now. Hey, KLE. Hey, Ayakame. How you doing? It's the funniest thing. I turned it on. I clipped on the mic, but forgot to turn it on. Now it should be working well. Thanks for that, Jew Marinas. Thanks, Pips Apprentice. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? Good morning. We not just had, but we had the Bank of Japan's policy released just then earlier today, a couple of hours ago. Nothing much happened. Still within the range. Anyone caught any moves? Let me know. My eye is killing me. All right. Okay. 1 more minute and we shall get going. Alrighty. If you are new to the session, do remember, drop a message, say hi. Remember to click that like and subscribe button. A thumbs up would help massively. If you're new to the session as well, the link is there for the Discord channel. If you haven't already, do make sure you join us on Discord, because that's where we can take our discussions beyond this 1 hour session, sharing with you any possible trade ideas that or trade setups that I might be getting into. So far this week it's been relatively quiet. Well, not relatively, really quiet. So not a lot of activity as yet, but we all know there's a market. For all the quietness, there is going to be some liquidity and volatility coming back into the picture. So I'm waiting and all primed for that. Okay. Hey D-Train, how you doing? So now with that said, let's keep going. Quick disclaimer, any information contained on this webinar should not be construed as advice and is presented as educational material. The contents of this webinar are not intended to be a recommendation to trade a financial product, and your objectives, financial situation and needs has not been considered, and you should consider its appropriateness to your circumstances. With that, that was the fastest, probably not the fastest, but one of the fastest way I can get through that. If it's all good, put it into the chat. Let me know that you guys are doing okay. Chat seems to be a little bit quiet. Just want to make sure that you guys are still around. Yeah, so chat's a little bit quiet. Put it into the chat. Let me know how you're going. We just had that 49 minutes ago. Houthi attack in Red Sea impacting supply chains and inflation. Well, okay. Hey Goju, how are you doing? Good morning. Hey Jimmy, thanks for that. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure that you're all good. Now, what has happened since the last time we spoke, right? Not a lot. You can see the news here. Nothing's changed. Dollar index was pretty much as we had expected. Sitting at that point, bounced up. So looked at that, we said it's going to go up to that 50% level, rejected 50, pushing down, and that's happening right now. Okay, so over last night, we ended our session at 4 here. So it pushed up a little bit, set in that consolidation, traded up a little bit more to 103 almost touched 103.38. That 50% that 50% retracement level, and then now pushing back down, breaking 103, right? Breaking below 103, now at 102.99. So it's just right on that borderline level. You can see that it's slightly outside of the Bollinger, so this hour we might see it consolidate, maybe retrace back up a little bit, but still overall looking for it to push to the downside. Okay, with nothing much happening from yesterday. What do we have today? All right. Hey, Angel Case, good morning. How are you doing? Hey, Desiree, good to see you again. This morning at 11:09. Don't ask me why. Since I've started trading, and this was like many years ago. Oh, look at that. It's popped. It's popped down just on the close of the hour. Since we started trading many years ago, I think it's because of that press conference. There we go, 15 minutes ago. The Bank of Japan has always made it tentative, but it comes out between 10 to 12 o'clock on the monetary policy statement, the BOJ outlook. 2:30, just 30 minutes ago, we had the press conference from the BOJ. Governor Ueda said, or is quoted to say, to mull if negative rates should be kept if price goal in sight. Talking about if negative rates should be kept means they're looking at getting rid of the negative rates, bullish for the Japanese yen, confirm the economy is progressing in line with our forecast. Again, good news. Governor Ueda said can't quantify how much closer we are to exiting negative rate policy. This is why. So it just came out 8 minutes before our session. It just came out on that news, and about 15 minutes before that, they're considering this consideration that negative rates, to mull if negative rates should be kept, has led to the yen. And I didn't get into this again. I was preparing for this session, so I missed this move. The yen was on release at 11. So it didn't do too much. Finally, it broke out 147.70, breaking lower, went as low as 146.98. If you caught that move, a good 50 pips to the downside. Right now, retracing a little bit. Again, why is it retracing? Because of that Bollinger. Most likely going to come back in a little bit. Maybe going to continue to the downside. All right, possibly going to continue to the downside. If you had that sell order there, there would be a good 100 pips to the downside, profit available, well, pips, 100 pips available to the downside. But I think for now, if you haven't got into it, don't rush in, because it's likely to retrace a little bit before coming back down again. Look at that, it's really bouncing around. 15-minute time frame needs to come back in a bit. It's right on that borderline. I think if in the next couple of minutes, if it stays around this level, it might push down. Right? If it stays around this level, below 147.50, it might continue pushing lower again. So this is just news, breaking news on the US yen, where they're talking about mulling or considering if negative rates should be kept if price goal is in sight. That's why we're seeing the yen push to the downside. Okay. In terms of the monetary policy statement, no changes there. Policy rate stays at minus 0.1%. BOJ keeps ultra easy policy, shifts focus to Ueda's briefing, and that's why now during the briefing he's making the comments which is leading to the yen pushing lower. Okay, so the next, if you miss that move, I think it'd be a bit risky to try and get in there. I think the next question is what's going to happen at about that point, which we'll get into slightly later on. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it into the chat and let me know. D-Train said about US yen went down 100 pips or about minus 0.6%. I think if you calculated it, oh, it's starting to storm at my end. From that point, yeah, that's about 100 pips. We caught right at the start. So yes, it took a long time. It took a long time to move down at 100 pips on the US yen. Initially, or from yesterday, I was thinking that we might have seen at that point a steady push down, right? I'm not very happy, not super happy that it happened just slightly before our session. I missed that move. I would have loved to catch that because we were preparing for this move on the US yen. Okay. But, you know, trades come, trades go. We'll catch the next one. And that's going to be quite an important level with 50% to retracement at that point. Okay, so no big surprises here on the outlook report, monetary policy statement from the BOJ, policy rate staying at minus 0.1%, core CPI year on year dropping 2.7, expected 2.8, down to 2.6. So inflation is slowing down in Japan, or core inflation is slowing down in Japan. With the press conference, we spoke about that, consideration of ending the negative rates. Just be super careful in terms of the Japanese rate policies, because they do tend to, there are tendencies from the BOJ to talk about a rate cut, or not rate cut, a rate normalization, and then don't do anything about it, and then you see the yen, the US yen push back up again. All right, so just be careful about that. Don't have to rush in. And then not much else. And then not much else for today through to tomorrow, early tomorrow morning, 5:45 a.m. GMT +8. We have the New Zealand CPI quarter on quarter, 1.8%, expected 0.5. Most likely going to come out around that range of maybe 0.5, maybe a little bit higher than 0.5. But what we're going to focus on here for the Kiwi CPI is that it shows a slowdown from 1.8, right? So it might push a bit lower. What we're going to see is a slowdown in inflation growth, and that's going to likely lead to some strength in the Kiwi dollar. Brief strength in the Kiwi dollar. However, it is all still going to come down to what's going to happen on the dollar index. Okay? So, with that, it is storming right now. It's storming in over where I am. How's the weather on your end? And then with that, 4:15 tomorrow, we have PMI numbers all through to the Bank of Canada with the interest rate decision. But I'll tell you more about that during tomorrow's session. Okay? Now, back to the charts. I'm super distracted with this. That's going to retrace. I'm not too bothered. Okay, let's leave that to run. Dollar index retrace, as we were saying, retraced up, pushed down, playing out as pretty much as expected. Now at 103. Now at 103, I would be looking for the dollar to push down and 50%. So it's broken 38. So I'm going to take that away. Okay, I'll take 38.2 away. It's breaking down to that 50. Yes, we do have support here, but I would be happy. I would still be happy if support is down there towards 61.8. Okay, towards the 61.8 retracement. We don't need this anymore because we've seen that test and reject. Take that away. Now it looks like it's pushing lower. So what I would be looking for on the dollar index is to trade, weakness on the dollar index to continue. Today being the 23rd. Dollar index to break 103, to trade down. I would say even down towards the 102.70 level. Okay, so break below this 103 level. And then we could see that go down towards 102.70. Makes sense so far? All good? All right. What's likely to happen here? What I envisage on the dollar index, you see now, is a brief retrace before a push lower. Okay, a brief retrace before a push lower. So as usual, during this session right now, don't rush into a trade. Spend an hour with me, listen into this session, and then I think that retracement, after that retracement, we'll see a continuation back down. So dollar index, complete retracement, then needs to break 103 to trade down to 102.70. Can you hear that? Did you guys hear that thunderstorm? Is that a preamble towards a thunderstorm going to happen in the markets as well? I hope so. I'm just going to leave that there as a reference point as well. Okay. It might be the thunder is really loud or my mic is just picking it up extra loudly. But yeah, it's probably just the thunder being super loud, or just echoes in my office. Don't worry, I'm still safe, I'm still around, I'm not outdoors. Okay, I'm looking at that pushing down. I don't think there'll be a threat of it pushing up too high before turning back down. So I think it's going to sit around that area, complete that consolidation before pushing lower. Okay? Then, going to let that retrace. Looking at the Kiwi, right? Kiwi, I think I've done this since last week. It's been sitting in that range, sitting right there. It broke down. I think if Diana was here, should say went down, grabbed liquidity, pushing back up. I would say that we could maintain this view, expecting the dollar to drop. Pips Apprentice said thunder on the dollar heading back to the range. Thunder on the dollar raining down on the dollar, pushing the Kiwi dollar back up could be a possibility. It's sitting right there at 6112 right now. You see dollar retracing, that's why it's pushing down a little bit, but we'll maintain this view on the Kiwi 6140 20 to 45. Not going to change that 6140 20 to 45 on the Kiwi dollar. Still a valid outlook, especially now that it's rejected that move to the downside. Okay, so going to watch out for that. On to the Aussie, went down, so we saw that, and it's a bit of a replica of what happened on the Kiwi dollar. We saw that push down, now bouncing back up again. If you got into that, we were looking at 6575. It came down to 6567 before pushing. This would have been a stop loss of 20 pips. Okay, if you got into that one. But hey Diana, how you doing? Hey ViXP, my place started raining as well. It's Singapore. One rain cloud covers the whole place, right? Now dollar retracing. We're going to maintain the view that dollar retraces. Let's see. Could it go a little bit higher? Yes. Could go. I don't think it would, but it could go as high as back up towards that 38.2 level before pushing down. A bit unlikely. I think it's just going to stay below 103, below 103.10 in that range. But we're going to look for that to push lower, retrace, and then push lower. So what you could be looking for, so I'll take away this channel because it's been broken. 38.2, let's check 50 is right there. So it came down, tested 50 and bounced back up. I'm just going to check a couple of things. No, so 50 doesn't play out there. I'll catch this point at 50 retracement. Look, we're looking at if the dollar weakens, we're going to look for the Kiwi to push up. Again, I'm going to go on the alternative view here on the Aussie dollar with that idea that we could be seeing a double top. So if the dollar continues to push up, it's retracing now, but if it continues pushing higher, maybe we'll see a double top formation, break to the downside, form and break to the downside, 50 there. What you could be looking for is to sell down. I would still like to say that you should sell from there, right? Because in between these two areas is 45 pips. If you sold anywhere in the middle, might not be very good for your stop loss. Let's see. Right? There's no real reason why you should be selling in the middle here. Your stop loss would be a 30 pip. I wouldn't be too keen on that. I would say that you could be looking 65, 65. Stop loss can be very tight here, very tight. No more than 15 pips. Take profit 40 pips to the downside. So yes, you can sell early. All right, if you're a bit of a risk taker, you can sell early. But I would say on an alternate view, the dollar strengthens 65, 65, 15 to 40. There we go. Now, Aussie dollar looking to sell 0.6565, stop loss 15, take profit 40 pips to the downside. Okay, I'm doing great. Good to see that you are doing well too, Diana. Oh, Jazzy said that was loud. Yeah, it didn't sound that loud. It did not sound that loud over here, but hey, maybe the mic picked it up. I'm just watching this dollar index come back up a lot more than, seems to be gaining a bit more momentum than I would like. So I'm just going to watch that. Okay, we'll watch that through the hour. Aussie dollar we've done. US yen, look at that. We said it's going to retrace. I'll take that away. Take that away. We said it was going to retrace. It's retraced right back to the Bollinger Band. It's retraced right back to the Bollinger Band. Could it go higher? Quite likely, because of what's happening here on the dollar index. So what we're looking for is a test and reject of the resistance, or not really resistance, but that channel there. Okay, check that. I'm happy with this. I'll take that one away. We keep that. Take away those little blobs. We're looking for it to test 147.72 and reject back down. So what I would be looking for, now we missed the first move. We missed that first move on the yen down. Looking for it to retrace and reject 147.55. Stop loss tight, no more than 30 pips. Take profit again down to that 103, 105 to the downside. Okay, so US yen 147.55, 30 to 105. Okay. So US yen, we're looking for retrace and reject. Sell at 147.55. Stop loss 30, take profit 105. There we go. There we go. Okay. So what I'm actually hoping to see right now is a bit of a push up, a further push up on the dollar index. It is testing at 23.6 right now. Want it to break up, test 38.2 and reject. Then that would play quite nicely, play out quite nicely here on the dollar yen. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. Then on to the pound. Take those away. Jamil was saying yesterday, right? Jamil was saying yesterday, I think he was at about that point. Wait, what day are we today? Tuesday. So he was at about that point on Monday at 3. Yeah, I think he was buying there, hoping for it to go up. It came down. It tested at that bottom of that line, the bullish trend line, bounced back up, tested, came back down. So it did that, but it did not drop as much as expected to trigger the sell down, right? So it just did pretty much what we spoke about, where it did that, right? It bounced within that area. Now that is complete, we'll take and check that, and you have 23.6 right at this 61.8 level, but 61.8 is broken, so I can take that one away. Keep that. Dollar index gaining that strength, looking for it to reject. So what I'm looking for here, if you adjusted this, it would look like that. Okay, and then just refining the lines, it'll be something like that. A test and bounce back up on dollar weakness. Yes, that's what I would like to see, which means that my entry or my setup would be 1.2730. Stop loss no more than 25. Take profits, you could go to 50. I think 50 would be reasonable. It could go as high as 90 to the upside, but I think 50, with no major news events here, I think 50 will be a reasonable level to look for. Okay, so 1.273025 to 50 on the pound dollar, bouncing off to the upside. Pound dollar, looking to buy 1.2730, retrace down, push down. Yep. I'm just thinking that would it come down as low? It could come down to this point and bounce back up. That's fine. 1.2730, 25 to 50. 25 to 50. You know what I'm thinking, one thing that's crossed my mind today as well was we had someone asked when we restarted our sessions at the start of the year, and markets were sitting in consolidation, was being choppy. Someone was asking, I can't remember who was asking, how long would it take for the market to resume what was happening from last year? It's taken a long time. Right? January, we were, hang on, where are we? January 1st, 5th, we were right there, sat in that consolidation, had a big break, and then pretty much slowly gravitated back down again. So it's been choppy. If you haven't felt like, or you've been feeling like it's been quite hard to enter into trades, you're possibly not alone. I think a lot of people are waiting for markets to develop that stronger trend. So just stay patient there, just a reminder. Hey Jamil, how you doing? How did you go on your pound? Did you hold on to that for it to push up? If you did, I think you would have taken profit already. Then onto the euro, I'll maintain that. Look, it came down, it pushed up, it almost closed above. Right now, what's likely to happen is a test and a bounce back up. I would be tempted, but I wouldn't move this entry level lower. All right, I'll keep it there. If anything, I would even consider moving it a little bit higher. Right, if anything, I would consider moving a little bit higher, but we are happy. I'll be happy to keep it at 1.0915, 25 to 70. Can we do, no, that would be too near. So 1.0970, that I would keep. So euro dollar 1.0915, 915.25 to 70. We'll keep that in. Nice one, Jamil. 26 yesterday, 29 today. Good job. Very nice. Okay, now, so that done. Wow, we seem to have really breezed through it today. Okay. US Swiss franc. It came so close. Look at that. That's how annoying it got. Thinking that it's going to push up before coming back down. It did not do that. It just came up slightly and pushed right down. Okay, now bouncing, looking like it's bouncing back up a little bit. Also because it found 23.6 and it's pushing back up. At this point, it's right in the middle. It's right in the middle of that support and resistance level. What's likely is a dollar index retracing before pushing back down. What looks like it could happen here is a retrace before pushing back down, but it is going to be right. It's going to maintain being right in the middle of that range. Okay, so I wouldn't rush in now. Jamil saying great opportunity on the US Swiss franc for buy. You could, but I'm just thinking that, you know, it depends on how the dollar is going to play out. If the dollar continues recovering in strength, yes, you could trade it up. I think he just hit 147.55. Okay, I'll have a check of that. What's I going to say? The US Swiss franc could retrace and push down. I would actually, anticipating that dollar index to push lower, I would actually be waiting to see what happens at 8639 or 8640. Okay, so it's going to possibly retrace and test. I want to see what happens at this point, because it is going to be very similar to what we see here. Right? If it bounces back up, great, you can buy, but I would actually be looking that if it sells back down. 8635, stop loss tight 15, take profit 40 to the downside. That 50% level, so I can catch that, but I want to catch 50 here. It's more relevant because it's nearer. So I got a 40 pip move to the downside. Dollar index is still pushing. Okay, so what's likely to happen here is that if you're a bit more aggressive, you could also be looking on the alternate view is a test and reject. 8670, stop loss no more than 20, take profit all the way down 74. I don't rate this highly because it could pause at this point again. Yeah. So you could be looking for it to do that, but I'll rather let it do whatever it does and only look for it to break down before selling it lower. Okay, so I'll go 6835, 15 to 40 on the US Swiss franc. 86. My mind's going. 8635. 8635, 15 to 40 to the downside. Look at that. Dollar index still pushing up. 02 Jazzy said US yen just hit 147.55. Look at the arrow, not just because it hits 147.55 you want to sell. you want it to get up, test, and reject, right? Test and reject to sell down. You can see that it's come back into the Bollinger. I would say that this would be something that might happen maybe into the next hour, right? We need this to develop and then into the next hour. Okay, that's working out well. CAD, remember, for the US CAD, tomorrow we do have Canadian interest rate decision from the Bank of Canada. So the US CAD did not do that. Take that away. What's the news? Yen EASL says BOJ stands pat. We know that already. Bounced off. So yesterday bounced off 61.8. Push back up. I think that I feel that there's a good opportunity here on the US CAD. Okay. Why? I think that, let's show you this. You can see that from this move, it's tested 50 and then it rejected. Now pushing back up, right? Now pushing back up. So again, quick reminder is that on the Kiwi, we're thinking short, medium term dollar weakness. We're going to see this push up. Yes, it's trading lower now, but we're looking for that move. Might play out on dollar weakness. This is dollar strength scenario for Aussie. Looking for it to test, double top, and push down. You could look to sell in earlier as well. So we got $1 strength, $1 weakness scenario. US yen pushing up very strongly. All right, if it breaks up back into this range, cancel that setup, right? If it comes back into this range, cancel this setup. Okay, we're looking to see what happens here on the dollar index. I'm just putting 50% in for a good measure. Pound dollar on that dollar strength weakness scenario, bounce. Euro dollar, again, dollar weakness scenario, looking for that bounce. Sweezy, looking for that dollar weakness scenario. So we are balancing between having dollar weakness scenarios, dollar strength scenarios right across the multiple different pairs. Then onto the US CAD, I would say maybe for this, consider a dollar strength scenario. Okay, dollar strength scenario above 61.8, so 1.3495. Stop loss 20 pips. Take profit could go up to that 50 pips to the upside. Okay. Something's happened. All right, hang on a second. Okay. Wow. All right, seems like my TikTok live just hung. Let's go back to that. All right, let's turn that one on then. All right, so US CAD looking for that to push up 1.3495, 20 to 50. US CAD, I would be looking to buy 1.3495, 20 to 50, 1.3495, stop loss 20, take profit 50 to the upside. Okay, still looking at the dollar index, still retracing. Looks like it might even test 50. That's going to be the major barrier, but I think that overall we're still looking at downside on the dollar index. Then on to gold. We saw that push up. So we were saying yesterday, if it stays above 2017, could remain bullish to 2040. It stayed above 2017. It came down. Look at that. At 10 last night, it came down, tested 2017, did not break, and then it went straight up to almost, it went to 2037, almost 2040, before now pushing down. Why is it pushing down? Very simply because of that dollar strength that we're seeing right now. Okay, so gold likely to stay within this range. That strength is seeing this push down. I think the safer approach is not to do anything within this range now. Even if it does retrace, we're possibly looking to see if it can break above 2040 towards 2055. So a lot more waiting to do here on gold, right? Wait, look for break above 2040 to trade up to 2055. Right, and that will be because of dollar weakness scenario. This went through a lot faster than I expected. Super short and sharp session. If you can, do remember to help me out. Click that like and subscribe button. Remember to also, if you can, put feedback, put it into the chat. Let me know you enjoyed the session. What do you want more? What do you want less of? We can try and adjust the sessions to make it better for you guys. All right. With that said, I'll still keep it short and sharp. Things are retracing. Look for it to retrace. Look at that. Tested 38.2. Turning back down right now. Wait for it. Don't rush in. I'll see you all on Discord. I'll update you if anything interesting happens. But for now, trade well, trade safe. I'll see you all tomorrow, same time, same place. Take care now. Bye-bye.